Whenever I was working with upper management, I guarantee you some of those people are so retarded. How did you get to the spot? You're fucking stupid. Being smart or highly intelligent actually doesn't do as much good as I thought it would. And this is actually very interesting because if this is you, if you're that kind of guy that has been gifted with intelligence, if you went to school and you never had to study that much because you just kind of remembered everything, or you did your homework extremely fast, subjects like math came so easily to you because your brain just works that way, it's wired that way. And all through school, you had a huge advantage. You got good grades in difficult classes despite not actually working that hard for them. That was also me. And while it seemed good in the moment, or at least at the time while I was in school, this seems like a huge advantage. Except it's not in the real world. It's just another quality that you may have or may not have. And while obviously there's a lot of benefits to be intelligent, like, hey, if you're smart, life is easier. Yes and no, it's not really. And very often I found myself almost envious of guys who were more simple-minded. Not necessarily stupid, but just simple-minded. They didn't overthink. They just, everything just seemed easier. And it's very often that it's guys like us that have the capacity to overanalyze the shit out of everything, to think so much, that causes you to not even take action on some things. It's extremely difficult to take risks. That was a voice crack. It's extremely difficult to actually take a risk because you're like, well, if this has a 98% chance to succeed and a 2% chance to fail, but the upside is not that high and the downside is, well, it's shit, I'm not taking that risk unless I'm 100% sure that what I'm about to do is going to succeed. These factors make it actually very difficult to achieve great things and not overthink it and not change what you're doing all the fucking time. And so my point is, ever since, or at least dumb down the parts of me that were very either obsessive overthinking, overanalyzing, or being stuck in that, and simply just switching my brain off sometimes and just being like, all right, just do it. Just ignore your brain. Just go and do this thing. And my siblings, my brothers, we all share a similar mind as well. We're all great thinkers, overthinkers, great at analyzing, optimizing systems, logistics, math, all these kind of things. But I really believe that when I simplified certain aspects of my life or my brain, my life actually got better. Or that's also allowed me to get more results. For example, why is it that these smart people find it so hard to achieve something out of the ordinary? Take something as easy as going to the gym. Yes, I did just say going to the gym is easy. I'm not talking about discipline or other stuff. I'm literally saying if you want to build muscle, go to the gym and eat protein. It's so fucking easy. But no, that's not what my brain thinks. If you know what I'm talking about, that's not what our brain thinks. You'll be doing this for 2 months and then see no results and be like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, these people were wrong and actually I am doing something wrong, or I'm not training right, or I'm not eating right. And then you try to remind yourself, well, hold on. I think I just got to give it more time. And then you do it a bit more and you keep on self-reflecting and introspecting and thinking, is this thing even working? Is that even worth it? Maybe I should just go do something else. Maybe going to the gym isn't for me. And there's a million more thoughts where that came from. While you take a person who is more simple-minded and tell them, go to the gym, get big, get strong, eat protein. And they will do it flawlessly because they're not overthinking it. Their brain just goes, all right, it's time for gym. They go to the gym, they work out, next. They didn't sat there thinking, oh shit, is this working? I don't know if I'm getting bigger. Oh, I think my genetics are bad, or they're good, or I'm bad at this. They're not thinking that. They're just go and do it. It's so simple. And it's very often that some of the dumbest people are the ones who actually make it in high positions in life. In fact, in my past life, when I used to be in a management position, whenever I was working with upper management, I guarantee you some of those people are so retarded. I often wonder, how did you get to this spot? You're fucking stupid. These guys make good money. Some of them were making $50,000 a month. And I'm just thinking, But he's dumber than me. Like, I pointed out so many flaws in what he's doing and asked him, oh, how come you haven't optimized this? How come you guys haven't done that? And this guy's like, oh my God, you know what? That's a good idea. And I'm just like, no way this guy makes so much money and they haven't considered such basic things. They're not even that organized. Ever since I started realizing that, I've decided to basically dumb myself down. I was just mind boggled. I was like, this is no way. And I immediately recalled how, yeah, I've heard this before where successful people were saying that people at the top are actually not that smart. They're actually pretty dumb. In fact, what gets you there is just being consistent and doing something long enough, and eventually they just outgrow and outwork the people who are the smart guys, the people who are like, no, you know what? It's actually better to do this. Actually, this position is not working out. Maybe I should switch my job and do all this planning, all this thinking, and actually not end up getting anywhere because it's inconsistent, because your mind constantly reevaluates if what you're doing is good. In fact, even for myself, when I make these videos, I cut a lot of parts out that I've just repeated like 10 times on a loop. That's literally borderline autism. Like, I literally don't understand why I get stuck saying the exact same phrase 10 times over because I think it sounds weird. And then when I go to edit the video, when I play it back, and I'm like, I literally said the exact same thing 10 times with no change, but at the moment of recording this, it sounded off to me. And I got stuck in this loop of having to repeat it until something hit a certain point where I was like, okay, this is good. Let's move on. So yeah, and I think there's this one guy that I've seen a video of on YouTube. I think it's Alicia Long. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it's the guy who talks about retard maxing. And when I watched this video, I was like, this is so true. This is actually what I've been trying to do without knowing what it's called or without inventing a term for it, retard maxing. It's funny because as a guy, if you make yourself just a little bit more retarded, things get easier for you. If you just tell yourself, turn your brain off, go to the gym, turn your brain off, work hard, work at this, work at that. Obviously, you should make a plan, but once that plan is set in stone, forget about it for the next few years. Just work at it. Don't constantly reanalyze the exact same thing. I find myself doing this all the time. In fact, it's probably like at least once a week, I literally rethink everything I'm doing. Like, why am I making these videos? Is this going anywhere? Should I keep doing this? Should I do something else? And what helps me snap out of it is just tell myself, who the fuck cares? Just do it. It doesn't matter, just do it. It doesn't matter if you get 1 view, 0 views, just do it. Who cares? Because I've decided long ago, before doing this, that this is what I wanted to do. So why the hell would I rethink it a week later? And essentially, dumbing myself down, or the new term, retard maxing, it just does wonders. And I think even on camera, when I'm speaking, I come off too seriously, but in real life, I'm just a clown. I'm an absolute clown. Like you guys have probably heard this advice, just be yourself. And very often, it's sometimes really hard to do. Just be yourself, show a different side of you. And sometimes maybe only with your closest people, you can actually be your true self. And depending where you are, you wear a mask. Sure, but I'm still working on this to this day. I find the more I make videos, the better I'm able to show the person behind the mask, or the person who is not all that serious, because I shit you not, I am not that serious. This is but a small mask or a small side. And in a different environment, I would be able to show myself better. But the only way to do this is to be more retarded. Just don't overthink it. Just don't take yourself too seriously. I know ever since I've tried to simplify the way my brain thinks, and it's taken a bit of time, but it's a constant work in progress. Some things you're still gonna overanalyze. Some things you're just gonna have, and being smart isn't a bad thing. But honestly, so far in my life, other than doing well in school without much effort, it hasn't helped that much. And seeing people who live a much more simple life accomplish more because they keep it simple, because they don't even have the capacity to overthink, gets them way further. So that's my message for you guys. If you're an overthinker, if you want to overanalyze everything, just figure out a way to flip the switch and just turn your brain off and just go and do the right thing. That's it for today, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.